Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Man, everything fell into place for this video. I'm kind of psyched to do this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I confirmed with 100% certainty my theory that guys my age, because there's a lot of guys my age, when I go back and look on Facebook, all the guys I graduated with, my age, say 55 to 60 years old, almost all of them are Trump supporters. And I have a theory that Trump supporters are really beta males. The way these guys worship Donald Trump, they want to vote for what they think is a tough guy, and support what they think is a tough guy with all their Trump flags, so that they look tough, so people will think they are tough. When Donald Trump isn't tough at all, he's never swung a hammer, he's never been in a fist fight in his life, and he's just got a big mouth. Also, yesterday, I just happened to turn on Joe Biden live in Madison, Wisconsin, and I was freaking blown away. I'm not just saying this. I had a little, I was a little worried. I had some doubts after the debate, and I was freaking blown away by Joe Biden at Madison, Wisconsin yesterday. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Okay, the best way to do this is giving you the timeline on how I came across, how this whole idea, how everything fell into place for this video. Yesterday, I was going through Facebook, and like I said, sometimes it says people you may know on Facebook, and sometimes guys I went to school with. This guy was 2 years younger than me. He was the captain of the football team. He was kind of short by my standards. Probably about 5'10", a little short, pretty boy. He came from a wealthy family in town. Just the average, football playing, upper middle class Connecticut family. And I was dating a girl, one of my first loves in high school. I went to the prom with her. I was going out with her for like 5 years. That's me right there. That's her. And there's me making out with her. So we dated for about 6 years. We broke up when I was 21 years old. Back then I was an ass. I've done videos talking about this before. I was one of those guys. I was immature, and a lot of my friends were in colleges like Syracuse, Brown, all the colleges around here, and I would drive like 6 hours to Syracuse to go see my friend. I would just, I wouldn't even tell my girlfriend I was leaving, and I'd be gone for the whole weekend. It was wrong to do. So she was being flirted with this whole time by the captain of the football team. And I came back from Syracuse, and she broke up with me, and she started dating him. She went out with him for not even 3 months, and then she broke up with him and went back out with me, and we got into a fist fight. I ran into him in McDonald's. I was with my girl. I was in my '73 Firebird. This is back in 1989. In my Formula Firebird, cruising through McDonald's with my chick, who just came back to me and dumped the captain of the football team for me again. And he's standing in the parking lot, and he's with one of his other football playing buddies, of course. And we start getting into a verbal altercation. I'm like, come on, I'll take you guys both on. And so we go back behind these factories behind McDonald's, and they got there first. And I pull up in my Firebird with my girl, and I start talking. This is where I made a mistake. This is where I say, when you have to lose fights to know how to win. I started talking while I was still in the car. I pulled up, and the two guys were standing next to my car, and I didn't think they would be such dogs, but they were. And I started to say, you get rid of this guy, and me and you will go to the captain of the football team, because he was upset because he got dumped. This is what my girlfriend said to me. Why she dumped him? Because she goes like this. She goes, Daryl, he was so small. And I swear on the Holy Bible, and that just, first, it made me feel wonderful. She drops the captain of the football team for me because he's small. And he knows this in his heart. That's why he got dumped. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting in the car saying to get rid of this guy, and they start hitting me through the window. My head's like bam, bam, and there's blood, going all over my girlfriend. And I've been able to take a punch my whole life, or punches. And I'm getting hit in the face, and I start getting out of the car as they're hitting me. Bap, bap, and I climb out of the car, and I'm smiling. I'm just smiling because, I loved it. And there's blood dripping down from my face. And I'm like, now it's my turn. and I just see the look of fear, the look of God in these guys' eyes. And I ended up chasing him into the bushes, and I did pretty good for fighting two guys from the football team that night, even though I took a beating before I got out of the car. Okay. So I happened to come across, and me and this guy are cool now. He's a mailman, a postman in town and everything, and we're cool and everything. This is a long time ago. I don't got nothing against this guy, and I see his face on Facebook, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I wonder if he's a Trump supporter. And I go to his Facebook page, and oh my God, he is the king of Trump supporters. He is just some of the posts are some of the most outrageous MAGA posts. It's just one after the next. That's all he's got up. Nothing about high school, nothing about food, nothing about, there's vacations, but they're mixed in with Trump vacations. It's all just one crazy MAGA Trump post after the next. And these are some of the most crazy ones. These are ones that say that he thinks that January 6th was because of Nancy Pelosi and the FBI. Crazy bull like that. And then I'm paging down, and there's a picture of what looks like a lesbian couple. And they have dyed hair and everything. And it's the MAGA version of what they think the LGBTQ community looks like. And he's just mocking people. And I'm like, so he must have a wife and kids. What do they think of this? He's got this picture of a black lady in a bathing suit, and he called, I can't even say what he says. Some of the stuff is just outrageous. I can't believe Facebook is even leaving it up. So there's this couple, this lesbian couple, and it says something along the lines of, when you look like this, and no guy will put his blank into you, and you think it's your own idea to like women, and that word, that 4-letter word that begins with D and ends with K, it clicked. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Speaking of blanks, Richards, I was like, I remember my girl said you had a tiny little, So I start thinking, I was like, this confirms my theory. Because my theory is Trump supporters are beta males that worship their alpha, their image of a tough guy. This is why they go to these ultimate fighting things. I've talked about that before. I've been in over 100 fights in my life. I don't need to watch it on TV. I don't want to watch it on TV. I live that life. There's nothing about that entertains me. And it's these guys that want to look tough. It's their thing. They want to be seen watching the ultimate fighting. They want to be seen supporting Donald Trump because they think it makes them look tough by association. Beta male thinking. And they're insecure in their masculinity. But you're going to say, hey, Daryl, wait a second. This is only one guy. It doesn't confirm that all Trump supporters are tiny. But I could say this. It confirms with 100% certainty out of all the male Trump supporters I know, the size of their selves, I know with 100% certainty that they're small. I know one guy and he's small, so that's 100% certainty. Makes sense, right? Okay, it all clicked into place for me. Now let's get on to Trump in Madison, not Trump, I'm sorry, Joe Biden in Madison, Wisconsin yesterday. Oh my God, he was on fire. And I'm not just saying this, trying to pump Joe Biden back up after that debate debacle. And the cool thing is, Biden gets into the whole debate thing, and he's self-deprecating humor. He's like, well, I guess you heard about the debate, and he does it so perfectly. He brings it up. He says he had a bad night, and he kind of jokes about it. I love self-deprecating humor because that shows that somebody's secure and can make fun of themselves, can laugh at themselves. And to me, that's a sign of confidence in yourself. It's a sign of security if you could laugh at yourself. Can Donald Trump laugh at himself? No, hell no. So he starts wailing on Trump, talking about 5 years ago, and I did a video about this. I'll have the link down below. My video from my other channel, Staying Clean, and I'll have the link right down below. Where 5 years ago was one of my first videos. And I talked about how Donald Trump came out 5 years ago on the 4th of July and started talking about how George Washington took back the airport from the British. He actually said this. Yeah, the rocket's red glare, and George Washington took back, word for word, airports in 1776. That was 5 years ago. And this is the guy that's mocking Joe Biden for his competency. Are you freaking kidding me? But other than that, he just romped on Trump. He's like, yeah, stable genius, and he just, bam, it's the old Joe I knew, man. And he's like, I'm not getting out, he's like, you want me to get out of this race? No, and it was, the confidence was just bubbling over. It was that old tough Joe I knew and loved, man. He was fantastic. I urge you guys, I'll have the links, all the links. I was trying to find the whole 18-minute speech from Madison, Wisconsin yesterday. It was about 3 p.m, East Coast time. And I got a few links down below, but you got to see the whole video. I mean, he knocked it out of the park. He was on fire in this speech. All right, so that's the video. The links will be down below. Don't be small and vote for Donald. Well, I guess you can't help it if you're small. It sucks to be you. If you are. Vote for Joe Biden. Have a good Saturday.